I thought I would give my opinion on the Vegan Gains channel being terminated. I've seen so much of it today, and I'm like, okay, why not? I do have opinions on it. That's kind of one of my resolutions, if you say, to kind of actually say what's on my mind instead of holding it in for fear of backlash or whatever. So here we go. Um, I look at the Vegan Gains channel being terminated, or the Vegan Gains channel or persona or character, similar to the Perez Hilton character, um, and what his behavior was after there was a huge backlash. And even before that, I remember Perez Hilton was on YouTube, and he was upset with the way YouTube was treating YouTubers, like I guess the first or second generation back in the day with Chris Crocker, Perez Hilton, all that stuff. I was watching it since then. I just like to follow trends and see what people actually do to overcome obstacles like that. And, you know, he launched his own website. Well, he had his website. That's how he got famous. But it was, you know, talking smack about celebrities, and you know, it got him into trouble eventually. Everyone hated him, and he didn't like the way YouTube was treating him, and so he launched video on his own website and drove traffic there. He does have a couple YouTube channels here, you know, but the thing is, if you're being on YouTube and you're being dependent on it, that's not a smart move. So, people have said, I know I've seen Norwegian's channel and a couple of others, you know, stating a certain app that would be more stable because it's more user friendly as opposed to being dominated by the actual app that can control your destiny. But I mean, bottom line, if you run your own website, it's like you're running your own business. Of course, there's problems with that, but censorship is less of a problem. And you build up your fan base or whatever. You get their emails, so you will always have a way to contact them in case something happens, and then you can kind of bring them to where you want to bring them. That's a better move. So that's it. I mean, public backlash. Some people like the fact that his channel is deleted. Some people don't. Is it a free speech thing? Is it a YouTube algorithm thing? Richard, it's not your say. It's not your say. You had your run. You know, you were brought up and you stalled at 300 somewhat thousand subscribers. It stopped growing. You tried to work with it for a bit, and then things caught up with you. That's kind of how I see it. You murder someone and you don't get caught for a few decades doesn't mean you're not going to go to jail and do life or get executed, depending on what state you're in. Eventually it's going to catch up with you. You don't pay your taxes. You may pay your taxes after the fact for other years, but if you miss a year, it's going to catch up with interest. That's the mature way of looking at things. You know, what was it? The founding member of the Crips or the Bloods was eventually executed by Arnold Schwarzenegger. He turned around. He turned his life around, became a good man. You know, but he didn't have a say as to whether he can keep his life because of what he did. I mean, some things cannot go no matter how much you change. That's you know, it's either a good thing or it sucks, depending on how you look at it. So as Lil Cheetah stated, you just start other channels. You build something up, but you build it up in a way that if shit happens again, if you want to be the way you want to be, with your freedom of speech, with no consequence, which obviously isn't the case, there's consequences. YouTube has the right to do whatever they want to do, whether you argue it or not. And even if your channel gets reinstated, you're still at a loss for the time that was not deleted, and all that stress, So hopefully something could be learned from this, that there's a better plan, a fail-safe plan in case problems like this happen. A more business-oriented approach. And relying on something that is so unstable or unstable. I haven't heard anything about PewDiePie as of late. I have to check him out. I mean, he had a lot of things happening. He still has his run, even though he lost Scare PewDiePie 2 or whatever. Sometimes you can hang on to it, but you're still dependent on someone who's controlling you by the balls. If you want to say what you want to say with no remorse, with no consequence, which is really hard. That's all I had to say.